Hello, I'm Mike, and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we're bringing you issue 24 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. As always, if you want to skip the rundown of the issue, check the description for a timestamp. So this week we got the first part of an easy-to-build Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought, one of the sprues and the base. And heading into the issue here, we've got some backgrounds on Space Marine Dreadnoughts. So these are the standard Dreadnoughts. And then on the next page, we've got the Venerable Dreadnoughts, some artwork here. Then the Redemptor Dreadnoughts, like the one we have. And so specifically, this is the one we get, not the one with all the fun guns, unfortunately. There's a Blood Angels one down there. And going on to these, all the various weapon types you can put on a Redemptor Dreadnought. Unfortunately, ours only comes with the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon, the Frag Assault Launchers, and the Heavy Flamer. And then we have, of course, the Chaos version of the Dreadnought, the Hellbrute. And there was a Death Guard one on the previous page you saw there, and a couple of ones from different chapters, like the Crimson Slaughter, not chapters, War Bands, I think they're called. The Crimson Slaughter, the Night Lords, and the Black Legion there, and some history here about the Tyranid invasion of Baal, the Blood Angels' homeworld, and then the Ultramarines came to reinforce them. And here's our build guide for the Redemptor Dreadnought. So the sprue we got this week was this one here. So not enough to actually start building it yet, unfortunately. But the build guide's relatively simple. It's only about 12 parts, so it's fairly easy to just push it together. And that's pretty much it for the rundown. We'll head into the missions for this week now.
So on to our missions for this issue. Now this here, as you can see, is a map of the capital city of Corvon 2, which is called Barachias, or Barachias perhaps, and it has all these little points on it. Well, that is what we're going to be playing over this week. I'll explain how that works. There's actually some history and lore about Corvon 2 itself here. That's the capital city and Governor Ludmilla Tarch, is the planetary governor, but this is our first mission. It's called Infiltration, and it's actually a series of missions because we get to play this multiple times, and then depending on the outcome it affects what happens in the second game. In this mission, as you see the Death Guard deploy in the middle, the forces we get is actually random. So the Space Marines get some Reivers and the Death Guard get some Plague Marines and some Poxwalkers, but the number you get is decided by these tables here. So for each mission we roll what the Death Guard get. We can get 1, 2 or 3 Plague Marines and 6, 9 or 12 Poxwalkers respectively, depending on what the D3 roll is. Space Marines get 3, 4 or 2 times 3 Reivers, that is 2 squads of 3. And then the objective will be at one of 3 places, which is roll 4 on there. Going back to the deployment map then, you can see we've got A, B and C for the objective placement, and the Reivers have to deploy by these 2 hatches, which you'll see on the board when we do it. And the procedure for doing so is that we roll for the Death Guard forces and deploy them, then we roll for the Space Marine forces and deploy them, then roll for where the objective is, and then the Reivers get to take the first turn. They have 4 turns to get the Reivers, or 4 battle rounds rather, to get the Reivers onto an objective, and then they have to stay there until the end of the battle round, at which point they instantly win if they manage to achieve that. When we've played a game, we mark the victory on this map, and we've actually made a copy of this map, so we don't mark on the issue itself. But there are 10 locations, so effectively this battle is taking place at 10 different locations in the city. So there'll be 10 games total, or a maximum of 10 games anyway. And the effect of this is that in the second game, you can see here the Space Marine deployment zone is quite small, but for every victory the Reivers achieve, they get to move up, or their deployment zone gets an inch bigger towards the Death Guard. And it can be up to a maximum of 10 inches, so actually if they win all 10 games, then they can get all the way up here with their deployment zone. We're probably not going to show you every single game in its entirety because that could be quite a long time, but what we'll do is we'll play through at least one of them in its entirety and then give you an overview of what happens for the rest. So we're going to go on to our first game here, and we'll start down here in the bottom left corner. So this is District C456, and we're going to do our rolls to see what forces we get. The first thing we do is roll for what Death Guard forces I get. So D3, we'll get a 1. So that means for the first mission I'm going to get 1 Plague Marine and 6 Poxwalkers. It doesn't actually say which Plague Marines, which of the 1 Plague Marines it is. So, but rather than letting me choose, we're going to stick with the random nature of the mission and I'm going to roll for it. So D3 will have 1, 2 for the champion, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. So I get the Bolt Gun Man. And so the Death Guard forces are deployed, and they're either 6 inches either side of the centre of the board. So we've got a gaggle of Poxwalkers here, and the Plague Marine over here by the ammo box. Rolling for the number of Reivers that the Space Marines get. So higher is better. 4.
4 Reivers.
So that's 4 Reivers in total, one squad of 4. And they get to deploy by a hatch. The Reivers have to deploy touching a hatch, and they've deployed over here on this one. And now rolling to see where the objective is going to be. 6, so that's point C. And objective C is over this one, so it's close to the Poxwalkers, and the Reivers are over here, so they're going to have to run down this board edge. The Space Marines get to go first, and it's 4 battle rounds, so for our first of these missions, we're on to Space Marines, turn 1.
So, the Reivers have just moved up their 6 inches to here. Hopefully plan to charge the Poxwalkers later on, get a bit more movement in this turn. In the shooting phase, I'm going to do something a bit risky. All 4 of them are going to fire their pistols at your 1 Plague Marine.
Okay, so he's over there.
He'll have cover from the boxes though.
He will.
So we've got 4 shots hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. Then in the charge phase, we're going to declare a charge on the Poxwalkers. Not with a double 1. End of Space Marines turn 1.
Yes, so Death Guard get to try and do something now. My movement phase is very simple. Poxwalkers have moved 4 inches towards the Reivers, and the Plague Marine has just moved around the box a bit. In the shooting phase, he will shoot his bolt gun at them. He has 2 shots hitting on 3s, re-rolling ones. So I can roll double 1 as well. 2 hits though. Wounding on 4s. That's a wound on a Reiver.
3+ armor save. Made it.
Made it. And in the charge phase, the Poxwalkers will charge, so you get to Overwatch.
So one of the Reivers will throw a shot grenade just for the sake of it.
Alright, okay.
D3 shots. 3. Let's roll one of those. That's 6 again, please. Nope. And 3 pistol shots hitting on 6s. Nope.
Charge range 8, that's enough. They completed their charge like so. I'm not going to bother piling in because they're roughly where I want them. So they will attack. They're going to have 12 attacks between the lot of them. Hitting on 5s. 3. Wounding on 5s. 1.
3+ armor save. Didn't make it. So Reiver takes a wound.
Reiver is wounded. They get to strike back. You can pile in.
Yes, I will. And then they've got 13 attacks. 13 attacks hitting on 3s. 8 hits. Wounding on 3s. 6 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. Made 1, so 5 Poxwalkers go down. That one left, and the Reivers get to consolidate.
So they're on.
And with that, we're on to Space Marines turn 2. So the Space Marines are falling back. No surprise there.
Just gonna ignore that Poxwalker now.
They move to there.
In the shooting phase, one of them will throw a frag grenade at the Poxwalker, and the other 3 will fire their pistols at it. So frag grenade, 3 potential hits, 3 shots hitting on 4s, 2, wounding on 4s, 2.
And it's dead. Poxwalker goes down.
Yep.
Space Marines fell back, no charging.
Yep.
Death Guard turn 2. So Plague Marine has suddenly realised he's going to have to do something about this. So he's moved up his 5 inches. He's just about within grenade range, so we're going to throw a Blight Grenade because it has the most chance of... It could potentially inflict the most wounds. So it's going to have D6 shots. 1. No. Okay, hitting on a 3. It did. It wounded on a 5. Rerolling 1s. No. No damage. And he's going to charge them.
Well, we're in grenade range, so one of them will throw...
Okay, Sarge can't see him actually, I just realised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of them will throw a frag grenade.
Okay.
And the other 2 will fire their pistols.
Yeah.
Frag grenade, 6 potential hits.
And that's it.
Wounded on a 5. Wounded.
On the save. Yeah.
And 2 pistol shots. 1 hit. Wounded on a 5. Wounded. 4 plus
4 plus armor save. Yeah. And then his charge distance. An 11 is enough. Right, he's realised that his boss is going to be really cross with him if he fails to stop them, so he's suddenly got a sprint on. He gets to there. He's going to pile in around the corner, trying to get in the way. And he's going to attack with his 1 attack. Oh, I miss.
So I get 13 attacks back. Oh no, they get to pile in, don't they?
Yeah.
So we'll pile in around him. So we've got 13 attacks hitting on 3s. It's 11 hits. 3 wounds.
3. The toughness of the Death Guard coming into play. Oh, failed 2 saves though. And he's dead. Back. So, well, they consolidate a bit, but then their turn they move on to the objective, and they're going to win because there's no forces left to oppose them.
Yeah, they'll win at the end of the next turn.
So that's our first Space Marine victory. of potentially up to 10.
Yeah.
So that is the first Space Marine victory. So we're going to mark a little Silver Templars symbol in this box. And there we go. 1 Silver Templars victory. So now we're going to play all of the other games, and you'll hopefully see in this video a sort of nifty time lapse, but we'll also have a bonus video that will have all the raw footage if you really want to watch all the games in their entirety. So we're going to go on to the rest of the games now, and you should see a little counter telling you how many more victories we get.
So 7-3 to the Silver Templars.
Yes. And so there is our final map. We've got 7 victories to the Space Marines and 3 to the Death Guard. So the Space Marines will get an extra 3 inches of deployment.
7 inches.
So the Space Marines will get an extra 7 inches of deployment room in the second mission, which we're going to go on to now. And so the result of all that is this mission, Infiltration, where the Death Guard have figured out what the Reivers have been doing, and they have thrown up a kind of perimeter to try and stop the Reivers escaping, but the Space Marines are launching a diversionary attack to try and get the Reivers out. So what we've got is the Space Marine deployment zone. It starts at 3 inches, but it gets to add another 7 for the 7 victories in the first mission. So it'll be 10 inches from the side of the board, and then the Reivers move on from the other end of the table on the Space Marine player's first turn. The Death Guard, meanwhile, have a 6-inch deployment zone starting roughly in the centre of the board, though it's not entirely clear because this distance as marked on the map is not actually 6 inches when you translate it over here. So if we start where they say to start the 6 inches near the middle, then it doesn't match up with where the 6 inches ends, as according to the map. But what we're going to do is put the 6 inches starting from where you see these lines of dice, and then 6 inches back from that. So effectively it means I just don't get to deploy quite as close to the Reivers table edge. It also says we can use any extra terrain we like, so we haven't gone overboard, but we've got a set of ammo crates here and a set of barrels over here. And then on the Space Marine end of the board we've also got a cargo container and another set of Promethean drums and some more ammo crates, just to add a little bit of interest. And deployment, the Death Guard player deploys their units first, then the Space Marines get the first turn and the Reivers move on to the board. Victory conditions, Space Marine player gets 1 victory point for each Reiver model remaining at the end of the game, so up to 6. The Death Guard gets 2 victory points for each unit of Reivers eliminated, and then both sides get 1 victory point for other units eliminated. And then there are 5 battle rounds. So we're going to have a look at the armies and then get on with the game. Here we have our Space Marine Relief Force, led by the Librarian. We've got the 5 Intercessors, the 2 Hellblasters, and the 3 Aggressors. And they are coming to ensure that the 2 squads of 3 Reivers over here can get out from behind enemy lines, but they'll be deploying separately. Now here we have the Death Guard that are trying to stop the Reivers escaping. We've got the 12 Poxwalkers and 3 of the Plague Marines, but Lord Felthius himself has come down with the Tainted Cohort to try and stop the Reivers escaping. He's seeing to this in person. They must have been that much of a problem. The Death Guard have deployed. We have got over here the 3 Plague Marines taking cover behind this pipe, and then we've got the Tainted Cohort and Lord Felthius in the middle. I'm not deploying them in the Teleportarium because given the Space Marines can have the first turn and they start so close, the Reivers can get to about here. And we've got a 10-inch deployment zone for the Space Marines so they can get to there. Michael could probably make it so that I couldn't actually deploy them on board, or he could at the very least force them into a corner if they come down from teleport. So they're going to start on the board, but in front of them I've got the Poxwalkers to try and provide some kind of screen. That's the Death Guard deployment, and the Space Marines get to deploy their forces on the board on this side. And then we have the Space Marine deployment 10 inches up from the board edge.
So right at this end we've got the Librarian, hopefully to move up and smite these Plague Marines. The Aggressors next to him, hope we can get into flamer range with the Poxwalkers. And the Intercessors down the middle, and the Hellblasters way back here to take advantage of the ammo crates.
And then Space Marines go first, so on to Space Marines turn 1.
So the Librarian has moved up and he's closer to the Plague Marines. The Aggressors have moved up normally. Sarge isn't technically this far forward, he's sort of balanced on the terrain, but wobbly model syndrome, so he's not quite that far forward, but they're all going to be in flamer range of the Poxwalkers. And the Intercessors have moved up, see, and the Hellblasters have stayed where they are. So now I have to move my Reivers onto the board.
The Reaver Squad run have moved onto the board.
Sarge is actually slightly further forward because he can actually fit, but his base doesn't quite fit. But he's actually here, so he's in grenade range of them.
Yeah. Second squad have just creeped on over here in the corner. On to the psychic phase. What's the Librarian going to do?
He's going to try and manifest Smite. He needs a 5.
He got a 4. He always does that.
And then he'll try and do Veil of Time on the Aggressors. He got it with a 6. Phew.
Shooting phase.
So first off, this Reaver squad, one of them will throw a shock grenade at the Plague Marines, and the other 2 will fire their pistols. So the shock grenade, 2 potential hits. He's a 3. Got 1. So grenade goes off. No Overwatch for them, and -1 to hit in melee. Then the 2 pistols, we got 1 hit. It was wound.
4+ because there's no cover from here.
Nope.
Failed that. Disgustingly resilient. Yes, it made that.
He's in range. He'll throw a crack grenade at the Plague Marines.
Yeah.
He hit. Wounded on a 3. Didn't wound. The Aggressors are all in range of the Poxwalkers, so they'll fire their Flamestorm gauntlets at them.
Yep.
Try and get them out of the way. So 6d6 hits. 18, 20, 23 hits. So I'll do a batch of 12 and a batch of 11. So the first batch gets wounding on 3s. That's 10 wounds so far. And then I'll do the 11. So that's 19 wounds in total.
First 10, disgustingly resilient, made 4, so 6 Poxwalkers so far. And the other 9 made 1, so that's all of the Poxwalkers going down. And my Poxwalker screen has disappeared, and a victory point for the Space Marines for destroying a unit.
I'll do the Hellblasters next.
Okay.
No, actually, I'll do the Intercessors first, actually.
Right.
So this one is within range to throw a grenade, so he will.
Yep.
And the others will find their bolt rifles at the Tainted Cohort. So we've got one grenade hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because we're next to an ammo crate. Good thing. Still didn't hit. 8 bolt rifle shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 6 hits, wounding on 5s. 2 wounds, 2 3+ armor saves.
-1. Failed 1. Disgustingly resilient. Yes.
At least you can make all of those now.
Yeah, I think I'd rather make them on the Terminators than the Poxwalkers, so...
And the Hellblasters are going to fire. They're going to supercharge at the Tainted Cohort because they're next to an ammo box.
Okay.
So the first one, 2 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, 2 hits. Second one, re-rolling the 1, 2 hits as well, so it's 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. As always, they only get 2 wounds.
4+ invulnerable save. Failed 1.
2 damage.
2 damage. Instead, yeah, we'll take away the guy without the melee weapon because they're going to need those in a minute. On to the charge phase.
So this Reaver squad will declare a charge at this Plague Marine squad.
Yeah, no Overwatch because they're shot grenaded.
And a 6.
6.
Will be enough to get them in because they're within grenade range. So we'll go like this. The Librarian will also declare a charge at them.
Okay, he'll have need an inch to get up the pipe probably, but yeah.
6 will be enough.
Yep, he's in grenade range as well, so he's standing there, but we'll put him down.
Be risky and do the Aggressors next. They're going to declare a charge on the Tainted Cohort.
8 shots hitting on 6s. 1. And aggressors on a 5. Nope.
Yeah, it'll be a 7-inch charge, but they can re-roll if they fail. Got it with a 10.
10's plenty.
We're going to charge, but try and stay 3 inches away from Lord Felthius so he can't intervene. So we'll come in like that.
Yeah, but they get to pile in afterwards, so they can easily get... Incidentally, if you're wondering why I did take away the Plague Spear, it's because it was out of range of the aggressors, so it couldn't have shot anyway. So, and I think the melee weapons would be more useful.
I get to pick who fights first.
Yes.
So I will pick the Aggressors. I'll do them first.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll pile in just a little bit. 7 attacks hitting on 4s. We've got 4 hits. Wounding on 3s.
Oh.
1 wound.
4+ invulnerable. Made it.
Yeah, of course, you made it. Then I'll do the Reivers next. They got 10 attacks, hitting on 3s. 9 hits, wounding on 5s. 3 wounds.
3+ armour. Failed 1. Disgustingly resilient. Made that.
Yeah. Then the Librarian has 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s. No wounds. And that's it for my melee. You get to hit back.
We'll do the Tainted Cohort first. This Terminator will pile in a bit, and then we will start with the axe. 2 attacks, 2 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds. That one's AP -3.
So we'll do the 6+ first. 6+ armor save. Nope. 5+ armor save. Nope. Aggressor dies.
And the sword. That missed.
Phew.
The Plague Marines will hit the Reivers because I get victory points for them.
Yep.
But we're hitting on 5s only with the Power Fist because of the shot grenade. 1 hit. Moves on the 2. Yep.
6+ armor save. Nope.
Oh, just bounced off it. And 2 damage.
So regular Reaver goes down.
And then the 2 knives hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Moving on 4. It does.
3+ armor save. Yep.
So 1 Reaver down.
On to Death Guard turn
On
1.
to Death Guard turn 1. Well, in the movement phase, the Terminators are going to stay in melee with the aggressors. Lord Felthius is going to move 4 inches over here. The Plague Marines are also going to stay in melee, I think. Means being hit by the Librarian, but I'll take those 2 Reavers out, so... No shooting, because everyone's in melee, or Lord Felthius. So the charge phase, he will charge the Intercessors.
Okay, they'll just overwatch with all their bolt rifles. So 10 shots hitting on 6s.
Ooh.
3 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds.
He probably needs about 4. Yeah,
he's
7 is
fine.
plenty. So he'll come this way and he'll stay this kind of side of the board because I want those Reivers to... He gets to go first and won't pile in. He has 4 attacks hitting on 2s. All hit. No deaths as the False Emperor though. And they all wound.
6+ armor saves. Made 1, so it's D3 damage.
We've got 2.
So an Intercessor goes down.
And and 1, and then the other one kills 1. So
2 intercessors go down.
only killed 2 intercessors, and then I will consolidate into them just to make sure they're tied up. Then I get to pick, and I'll pick the Plague Marines before they get chopped to pieces by my librarian. The Power Fist on the Reivers. Everyone hitting the Reivers, by the way, so Power Fist.
Hitting on 4s.
No. Okay.
That's good for me.
Yeah, that's... and then the knives.
Death to the False
Death to the False Emperor, so that's 3 hits in total.
3 on 4s.
2.
3 plus armor saves.
Oh no.
Regular Reaver goes down.
Consolidate in just to keep him in. Oops. Just keep him in melee.
So I get to pick, so I'll pick the aggressors.
Yep, obviously.
5 attacks now. Hitting on 4s. Come on, boys, do something.
Better. Oh, it's alright.
Wounding on 3s.
No,
2 wounds.
no 2s at least this time. No, that's no invulnerable saves. D3 damage.
First one, 1.
I've ignored it.
Yep. Second one, 2.
No.
Yes.
So that's a Terminator down, and it will be Swordman. Don't like you. Which means it's my turn to pick, so Axeman will go 2 attacks. Both missed again.
Phew.
Oh no, it was Swordman he missed last time. He's clearly affected by the loss of his buddy. And then you've got these 2 over here.
So I'll do the librarian first. I've got them as well.
Oh yeah, and intercessors.
4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. Come on, 1 wound.
6 plus. Nope.
D3 damage. 1.
You killed one at last.
Bolt Gunner dies.
Funny that. Bolt Gunner goes down.
And I'll do the Reaver Sergeant next. 4 attacks hit also, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 5s as well.
Ooh.
2 wounds. Come on, go on. Go on.
And then third one. You got him.
Yep.
And the Blight Launcher. He goes down. He's just a champion.
And the librarian's no longer engaged.
And the intercessors.
Yes, the intercessors also get to fight back. So they have 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. 5 hits. And wounding on 5s. Go on. We punched him to death once, we can punch him to death again.
Yeah, he was on only 1 wound then. He's on 6 now. He's made his armor save. So that's the state of the board at the end of Death Guard turn 1. Death Guard actually only have 3 models left.
Yes.
And the Space Marines have 4 Reivers, who are the important ones.
Yeah.
So, and it's Space Marines turn 2 now.
So first things first, the 3 intercessors are going to fall back.
Yep.
So
staying melee with him.
Yep. So the librarian has moved up this way, so he's closer to the Terminator. The aggressors are going to stay where they are. This Reaver has disengaged from the Plague Champion.
And last of all, we nearly forgot them, but these Reivers down here haven't moved anywhere because they're quite happy where they are.
So on to the psychic phase. The librarian will try to manifest Smite.
That's better.
Yeah, he gets it.
I almost got the big
Almost
version.
got the big version, yeah. So I need at least a 2 here. 3 damage on the Terminator.
I'll make 2 of these.
Come on.
Nope,
Yes.
none of them. So down
That's
goes
important.
the Terminator. Yeah, so that means those aggressors are now free to shoot in the
Yes.
shooting phase, but you've got another psychic power first.
Yes, he will try and do Might of Heroes on himself, the librarian.
Okay.
Didn't get it.
Oh, he got
Perils of the Warp, so he takes a D3 wounds. He takes
Oh,
1,
yeah.
so he's down to 4.
It's another victory point for the Terminators, killing the Terminators off. We also realised that the aggressors had Veil of Time on them in the previous turn, so they should have gone fighting in the fight phase as though they were charging. But the order we did things meant that it wouldn't have actually made any difference. Those Reivers over there still took a casualty before they would have been able to fight. So,
And the Terminator whiffed.
yeah, the
anyways.
Terminator didn't do anything to the aggressors, so it didn't matter in the end. On to the shooting phase then.
So the aggressors, since they technically did not move in
No.
their movement phase, means they can shoot twice. So they can shoot twice at the champion.
Poor champion Repugnus.
So that's
8.
8d6 flamer shots. Come on, big roll.
Ugh,
Oof.
that's a lot.
20, 33 hits. So I've got 17 dice here. I'll do 1 batch of 17 and 1 of 16. Wounding on 5. 6 in the first batch. And then batch of 16. 5 in the second batch. So that's 11 wounds.
11 3 plus armor saves. I failed 4.
So 4 disgustingly resilient.
We made 2, but no. That's champion incinerated.
Yep. I'll go this way, so I'll start with the librarian shooting at Lord Felthius. Pistol shot hitting on 3. No. Then the intercessors. 1 will throw a crack grenade. So you've got a crack grenade hitting on a 4. Rerolling 1s because we fell back. Rerolling the 1. Nope. And then 4 bolt rifle shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, no wounds. And then the 2 Hell Blasters are also going to overcharge again at Lord Felthius. So the first one gets a hit. Second one gets 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
4 plus invulnerable. Made 1.
So it's 2 damage.
So Disgusting was in it. The Nord one, so he's down.
Down to 5.
So at this point, I think I've lost because there are 4 Reivers left on the board, and they are worth a victory point each for the Space Marines, and they'll just run away from him, so I won't ever be able to catch them. And you've also got 3 victory points for units destroyed, so it's definitely going to be a Space Marine victory. But we're going to do a one last glorious charge into these guys and see if we can take some of them down. I think. So I'll charge the aggressors and the librarian.
Okay, so the librarian will overwatch for the crack grenade. It didn't hit. Then we got 8 d6 flamer shots. Come on, big roll. Not as big as last time. 24 hits. 2 batches of 12. Wounding on 5s. Second batch. So it's 8 wounds in total.
8 2+ saves. Made all of them.
Yeah.
And his charge distance is 9, so he will divide his attacks, 2 on the aggressors, 2 on the librarian. So we'll do the librarian first. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds.
6 plus armor saves. Didn't make either.
Oh, he takes 6
Librarian
wounds.
goes down.
So he gets his head chopped off. And then on the aggressors, it's 2 hits again. No 6s though. And 2 wounds again.
6s. Made
Oh, he
1.
made 1, they're going to live. Kills 1 though.
So regular aggressor.
Sarge gets to hit back.
He has 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. 8 wounded.
He didn't make a save.
D3 damage. 2.
And oh no, he took 2 wounds, so he's down
to 3.
But at that point, we're going to call it a Space Marine victory because despite chopping the librarian's head off, as I said, I'm never going to catch these Reivers. They're just going to run away from me. So that will be at least 7 victory points to the Space Marines, and Death Guard currently have only 1. No,
1 for killing.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
I would get if I killed Reacher Sergeant over here, I would have an extra 2. But it's going to be a victory for the Space Marines. So after that mini campaign we've had there, we're going to do a little recap and give you our thoughts on what we've seen this week. So that was issue 24 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. Well, let's talk about the little mini campaign thing we did at the beginning first.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, yeah, I think we were both surprised, you maybe more than I, about how actually it's quite easy for the Reivers. I think mainly that's because deploying from the hatches, you can actually have there's quite a long range you can reach. I mean, you can reach the middle of the board very easily to charge. I think it's actually quite difficult for the Death Guard when deciding where to deploy, because the Reivers can charge you, which gives them extra movement, gets them closer to the objective. And it is risky if you have the full squad of Plague Marines, but with the smaller armies. There were a few times as well where I think I made errors where I advanced Reivers when it would have been better to just move up normally and then charge, so I could actually move further. What did you think?
I think when I first looked at the scenario, I thought it was going to be very difficult for the Space Marines, because it just depended on what forces you roll, but I thought I would just be able to bog them down. But actually, when we played it, it felt a little bit stacked in favour of the Space Marines. My incentive as a Death Guard was mainly to start near the ammo boxes all the time, because then I could overcharge my plasma gun if I had it. I tried to deploy stuff so that I was always close to one objective. I also tried to vary the deployment a bit, just to make it a bit more interesting.
Well, as we said, it's not very clear which Plague Marines you should use if you don't have all 3 of them. And I think you got quite unlucky there. You did get the Champion quite a few times, but quite often you got the Bolt Gun as well.
Yeah, I very rarely got the Blight Launcher, who is really the person... Well, as the Champion, I suppose his plasma gun's quite good.
He did plasma gun quite a few Reivers.
There was one time when the Champion... I think it was the very last one, actually. The Champion... It was a Champion by himself, and he and the 6 Poxwalkers I had managed to hold you up long enough that you didn't.
So the 3 games I lost, 2 of those you had your full complement. For the second one I only had 3 Reivers, so I mean heavily outnumbered. And the last time, my 1 Reiver Sergeant survived, but he didn't have enough time to get to the objective. Quite a few times I think I did get lucky with picking my deployment. The objective ended up closer. Although I think objective point C is slightly easier to get to because you don't have to go over a pipe to get there, so you can get a little bit closer to it. I think doing really well in the first mission really heavily affects the outcome of the second mission.
Yeah, I mean, you started an extra 7 inches up. If you'd started the full 10 inches up, you would have...
I would have been on top of you.
You would have been literally on top of me. In fact, when I was deploying for that mission, I was just thinking, I'm not going to be able to do very much in this game.
And it doesn't help that the deployment zone for the Death Guard is a bit vague.
Yeah, that's true, actually. It doesn't match up in the map and the...
Yeah, and I think I think it's actually fairly unbalanced, actually, forces-wise against you, because you have 2 units that are very slow, and their main advantage is that they can teleport in, but you don't want to do that, because I mean, if my objective was that the Reivers had to get off my board edge, then that would be really hard. That would actually be a really challenging game for the Space Marines. But since they just have to survive, I could just park 1 unit in a corner, and then your Terminators will take forever to get there.
Likewise, if you hadn't won very many of those first games and you started a long way back,
then the Reivers would have been on their own.
Exactly, you wouldn't have been able to get in charge range in your first turn, so you wouldn't have been able to hold me up. So all I would have done is just ignored your forces coming in and gone after the Reivers, and then because you would then the only way you would get victory points back would have to be killing all your units.
I'd have to wipe out all of your units without losing any of mine to get a draw.
Yeah,
if you wiped out all the Reivers.
But Lord Felthius, once again, even it was too late in the end, but he proved how dangerous he is. But because you had plenty of Reivers left, I decided it wasn't worth it, because you could just run away.
It would have taken him a long time to get over to the squad in the corner.
And they can move faster than he can. Well, I don't want to say the scenario is completely unbalanced, because it does actually depend where the Space Marines start.
It depends heavily on where the Space Marines begin, I think.
Yeah, so perhaps actually quite a clever bit of scenario mission design.
Narrative design.
Yeah, so...
I will say that it's nice to actually see the Reivers doing infiltration and having a scenario based around that.
Yeah, actually, it was like the Reivers, that's their job.
And playing we did play all 10 games, and it only took about an hour, was it?
Yeah, it didn't take very long.
It was pretty quick to actually do.
But I think that's all we have to say for this episode. If you enjoyed this, as I say, leave a comment, let us know what you think about the scenario. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. We have been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye for now.